interesting how we are now seemingly going into a Ryo backstory based on this chapter. It's sort of a similar setup to the Zonka and Jabber fight, right? Big lead up, mysterious dialogue that doesn't give away too much but lets you infer what is going on in this chapter, and then fire ass fight scenes. Bro, this looks straight up out of MK2. It was so sick. Hold up, let me see if I can recreate that shit real quick. See, granted, I didn't edit it the best way possible. I just thought it was gonna be funny, so I did it anyway. But man, it was so sick. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty of things, because this chapter definitely left me with a lot of questions, which I commend Kate Urana for, because what they tend to do is present you with fire, and then with the fire, it presents questions that you really want answered. Not to reiterate, but just as an example, the Zonka and Jabber fight, right? Same thing. Super sick visuals, very detailed storytelling based on the action, and presented questions about character and what they have to offer and their backstory, right? Which is something that we've been asking for. Like, everybody's been asking for a Ryo backstory. Ever since we met Ryo, everybody's been asking for it. So this is basically leading into that. I loved a lot of the action scenes. It tells a story of warriors. These are two women who are warriors on the battlefield. And that shows in spades, because it went from, oh, we're using weapons, to, nah, we throwing hands, bro. That was dope, right? That was dope. And especially this one right here, bro, with the charging elbow. Oh, charging star. It's like fucking Marvel, baby. I got excited. Ryo got the wind knocked out of her. And this is where we get into the dialogue portion, right? Like what they were talking about. Because Nelda figured out that Ryo figured out what her weakness was, right? Because during the conversation, Nelda ended up saying, but you're correct. There is a time limit on the static electricity I can produce with my melee. I can't turn it off voluntarily, but whatever I do to keep it on, it won't last longer than a minute or two. It's not all powerful. And Ryo was like, oh, that's good to hear, because I considered the possibility that your weakness was wind. So I was freaking out a little about how I was going to get these windmills going. And then that's when Nelda charges in saying, I would have thought you knew that a true warrior knows how to offset her weakness. And then, like I said, bro, they get into the battle. And then we learn, okay, I got to give it up, bro. This stance was so fucking sick, right? It was super sick. Just this panel alone. She said, I lived in a village of women in the Southland, the warrior tribe, Celia. And Ryo said, sorry, never heard of it. And I'm like, wait, Ryo knows about warrior tribes? And then Nelda ends up pointing it out as well. She realized that, you know, you may have those giant scissors, but it doesn't fit you, right? It doesn't fit you. And then Ryo ends up saying, you're right. I actually do fight better alone. And then Nelda was like, who are you? And all Ryo says is, I'm Ryo. So what this told me is Ryo must be from a warrior tribe as well, right? Because they're similar. They're so similar, but different in regards to not only fighting technique and style, but motivation. So what did this lead to, right? This led to questions. Who is Ryo, right? Remember we asked this question before? Who is Ryo? Where is she from? What tribe was she a part of? She knows hand-to-hand combat, so is she from a lost warrior tribe? What's really going on here? And it made me think as well, oh, so we're following the Zonka Jabber formula, which means Ryo's gonna lose. Right? It's like, damn, I hope that's not the case, right? I hope that's not the case. I don't want Ryo to lose in the Zonka fashion, because it would seem repetitive and I'd be like, that was kind of whack. Like, I wouldn't want Ryo to lose in this situation, because why would you do that? I don't think that serves a purpose. For everybody who was asking for a Ryo backstory, I think you're about to get one. I think you are about to get one. And I'm very curious as to what really went down, because it leads me back to that chapter where Ryo was having that conversation with Rudo, right? Y'all remember that chapter? It was chapter 25, right? It was before they left to, I believe, go see Amo. And it was the conversation about, you know, his hands and all of that stuff. And she said something along the lines of, parents give us all kinds of stuff. both good and bad, right? So that brings into question, are we gonna talk about that in this upcoming chapter? And man, let me get my horny shit out of the way real quick, bro. Did you see how big they made Rio's thighs in this shot? Jesus Christ. I was like, bro, where did this come from? I don't remember Rio having thigh like that, but you know what? I love to see it because, hey man, the more fan service you give me, the more you gon' likely have your boys stick around. Granted, the story is already magnificent, the art is already magnificent, so you've had my attention since day one. But this adds a little bit of more flavor to your ear, you know what I'm saying? But again, this chapter was more so a setup. You know, we always have them setup chapters where it's high action and then the cool down setup, right? I love that. It's storytelling 101. A lot of people don't understand storytelling and just how to write a story in general. So they think that everything has to be high octane every single chapter. That's not how storytelling works. You gotta have peaks and valleys, bro. But it's something that I always mention, right? Kei Urano's artistic value never goes unnoticed for me, right? Never goes unnoticed. I loved this chapter a lot just due to that alone. The detail in almost every panel blows my mind just knowing that this is weekly. Gachiakuta is weekly. I'm gonna say that again. Gachiakuta is weekly, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between. It's fascinating that I get to enjoy this weekly. Anyways, man, let me know what you guys thought about this chapter down below. Let me know if it was one of your favorites. Let me know if you disagree with everything that I said. Let me know if you don't think that things should be going this way, because I mentioned it in my last video that we are now wrapping up all of the fights, right? We are wrapping up all of that because this is about to come to a head. This whole arc right here is about to come to a head. And I can't wait to go back to Rudo and Zodil because this is going to be a very, very important decision when it comes to the trajectory of Gacha. This will tell us everything. Leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, become a member of the channel, join. Help support me in keeping the lights on over here, as tough as it is. Everything that we make from YouTube, Twitch. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitch if you guys love watching people play video games. I'll be on there gaming all the time. Mobile games, actual video games, you name it, I play it. But yeah, with everything on every platform that I do, it barely keeps everything in motion over here. But hey, I love doing it. So as long as it's something that I love doing and it's barely keeping things on around here, hey man, I can't ask for it much more. Your guys' support never goes unnoticed. But with that being said, man, it's your boy, xDomoSenpaix, and I will catch you guys in the next video.